Hello, Joe here, and you're watching GoonerTube, and we're here in a central London location, under the covers, away from the rain, fortunately, because it makes my hair go curly if I allow too much rain to hit it. And Kai's in the same boat. He's got a bit more than me.
You said air for a minute there.
But yeah, we're going to be talking about the upcoming match at the Emirates against Sheffield United, amongst a couple of other little things that we're going to be talking about. But as I said, I'm here with Kai. Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, Joe. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate.
Good.
You look fairly straight-faced today and not very smiley, and I want to know why.
Well,
tell me your deepest thoughts.
We'll get onto the game in a minute, but I've just been on Twitter, before we met here, and apparently the our deal might be off.
Okay.
And because we've pissed around with it for too long, trying to shortchange him as we normally do, and we've got a billionaire owner,
Typical Arsenal fashion.
Billionaire owner who won't put his hand in his pocket. I always try and be respectful to the club as much as I can be, but how are we still trying to, penny pinch with these clubs? I mean, Alwar is a top prospect across Europe, even across the world, and 50. Look, Chelsea paid 100 million for Kai Havertz.
Yeah.
Alwar put in the same bracket as him in terms of his ability.
Yep, absolutely.
And we could get him for less than half price. 45 probably would have done the trick. We've gone in with a derisory offer, 30 million, trying to get them to sort of, come down a little bit on their price, and it's just infuriating. If we fuck this one up, I'm going to be livid.
Yeah.
Because we need him badly. As you saw with the Carabao Cup game, right? Ceballos plays. All of a sudden we're creating things because he's a creative midfielder, right? We don't have many of those. Ozil's the other one who's probably seen better days now, But if we mess this up, you start the season off going, we're one or two players away. Every year we've been doing it for 10 years, right? One or two players away of potentially doing something. And then we start penny pinching right towards the end of the window, and we fucking ruin it.
Yep.
And it's so annoying.
Well, I can hear the passion in your voice.
It really is. And if it doesn't happen, the board have let Arteta down big time.
Well, I do talk about this on the transfer show that would have gone out already, and it goes to show you how quickly news changes.
Yeah.
Having said that, and we did talk about this very, very quickly and briefly before we start doing this today, and that is that because news changes, we're not quite sure if the Lyon president or maybe agents are trying to stir this up
silly
to try
buggers.
and get they're playing silly buggers to try and get more money for the club.
It's possible.
I mean, there was I do mention on the transfer show that they were considering dropping their price down to about 40 million euro, maybe with add-ons or whatever it is, which works out about 36 million quid. So whether they're trying to get this last-minute thing, usually they say you get agents say, oh, there's another club that's interested, or another, when they're really not. They've pushed them towards that club, and the club went no, but they still push it out as news. So I'm just wondering whether there's a little bit of games. There's some backwards and forwards.
You never
games
know.
Going on.
I mean, he apparently set a Friday deadline. We're sitting here now. It's whatever 4:30 on a Saturday. So I don't know if it's true or not. We'll find out in the next 48 hours. But I'm not going to hold my breath. And look, and also if we don't get Partey either, then we're kind of left in the same boat. You start thinking top fours now.
Could you honestly see us not getting either of those two players and then some?
Mate, it's happened before.
Yeah,
it's happened before. I don't know.
Or maybe like some sort of surprise. Like how it used to. Everybody would all talk about this one and that one and that one and this one, and then suddenly from left field, this unknown would come in.
Well, I can probably count those things on one hand over the last 10 years.
Arsenal way, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. But just pay them the fucking money.
Yeah, I know.
Just pay them what they want. He's a good player and we need him. Don't start trying to play hardball over 5 million. A billionaire owner, that's chump change to him.
Yeah.
And it's just embarrassing. It's just an insult to all the fans if we don't get our.
That is indeed what's happening. I'd like to think that Arsenal have changed in that sense. I know we've had problems for the last 7 or 8 months, and the world has changed an awful lot, and the money and all that sort of thing. But
not for him, not for Kronke.
I was just about to say, I don't think that's
He's building new stadiums over there. For fuck's sake.
Off the back of us. What it seems like at the moment. Yeah, it's enough to give you the and I can
seen his net spend.
I know.
His net spend is, I think it's under 5 million or something ridiculous like that.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that really crazy?
It's honestly, it's just an insult.
It is an insult.
And we're so close. We've got the right manager in there now.
Yeah.
We bought a powerful centre back, which we needed.
Yes.
He seems to have slotted in, Gabriel.
Well, let's touch on that very quickly. Yeah. I mean, we played Liverpool a good few times now. We we didn't turn up for the Premier League game.
No.
I think we was, like I said, we were caught like a rabbit in the headlights somehow. We weren't that creative. We allowed them to come onto us, although they were always going to do that anyway. I'm surprised we didn't play Gabriel in such a game like that, considering when he puts him back in for the Carabao Cup. And I know he's not playing up against the best players that Liverpool got, but Salah was still involved in the game.
Yeah. Van
Dijk was still playing. He's still got some power.
Wijnaldum played.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so they're no mugs, these people. So for me, I'm thinking to myself, well, if he can handle himself against them, maybe Arteta was just a bit worried that he wasn't going to turn up, or maybe he was going to be a little bit overawed by the situation. But he seems to be like he's been playing there forever.
He's a super talented boy, 22 years old. You know, beautiful left foot, spraying passes for fun. You know, was crying out for someone like him. Also, it's a shame hearing about William Saliba. Apparently, I don't know if there's been a death in the family, but he could potentially be going back on loan to France. So that's really unfortunate for him. But yeah, Gabriel slotted in beautifully, and he's got to be a starter now for all these Premier League games.
I think he has.
He really has, you know. And I don't put him as a Europa League, Carabao Cup player. He's got to be a Premier League player for us.
Well, it's nice to know we've progressed in. I mean, not in the Europa League, obviously, at the moment. But it looks like the draw we've been given is going to give him an opportunity. I mean, Dundalk, you know, and all that sort of thing. But there's still teams that want to get through themselves, and they're still going to want to play to the highest of their ability to play. But we know that particular group, we should progress from that group, which gives the likes of Gabriel and the likes a good chance to play and really start to seal their place. I'd like to see Pablo Mari hopefully come back fairly soon, because we never really got to see
close
him.
Apparently.
Yeah, and from what I saw, he looks solid. He looks good on the ball. He looks comfortable. And so hopefully he's going to give us another option, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%, mate. Look, we need 4 centre halves, and we've probably got 5 or 6 there. Another thing as well with the whole transfer thing is if we can't move some of these players on because of their wage demands, like Kolasinac, for example, by Leverkusen, you know, we're accepting much less than we should do really for him because of his wage demands. So you know, it's worked out in the transfer fee versus his wage demands. And then you got, are we going to move Chambers on, Holding? Where are these players going to play? I mean, Holding, is he a first team player now, or is he a Carabao Cup player? Yeah. It's just hard to know, really. It's a little bit all over the place at the back in terms of who we pick for these games.
Let's just quickly touch on the fact that we went through on penalties, and we've mentioned the fact that Gabriel played, you know, was really comfortable on the ball, and we looked.
We looked great.
We looked good, didn't we, on the night?
Because we attacked them, Joe.
Yeah.
We went for them.
Yeah.
We had them going backwards. We didn't do that in the Premier League game. And, you know, those first team players can learn a thing or two there.
Yeah.
But maybe Arteta just picked the wrong personnel. You know, I'm not going to get on Arteta's back, but...
Do you think they put themselves under a little bit of
pressure?
Little
bit, yeah. I think, you know, you're right with the rabbit in the headlights thing. I think, you know, they were a bit overawed with the situation, and they realised, you know, within the first 10 minutes exactly what kind of game it was going to be. And they were all just too petrified to come out of position. But what happened on Thursday night, different story.
Yeah.
And but you know, again, when you go through the team, I'm going to go with the strikers really. Nketiah, Lacazette, Nketiah. You know, I'm not sold on either of them.
And for me, Pepe didn't do enough.
No. I mean, but the infuriating thing is, we have the best striker in the Premier League playing for us. And in my opinion, still, he's wasted on the wing. Even though he does offer a lot from the left-hand position, we have got the best striker waiting in the wings, and we keep pissing around with Lacazette and Nketiah, Lacazette. Both will probably get 10, 12 goals, but I'm not sure they're going to win us trophies like that. I think stick Aubameyang up front and put Saka on the left. Saka's just been given an England call-up. That's his favoured position. When he plays well, he's sometimes unplayable. So why doesn't he do that?
Do you not think maybe, I mean, I know Salah played, but do you not think that maybe Arteta's thinking that he doesn't want to burn Aubameyang out, because obviously the latter part of the season is going to be the really important part. The running could be up to the Champions League position.
Yeah, I'm not talking about Carabao Cup games. I mean, moving forward, you know, he's preferred striker, and he seems to be. When I mean main striker, it seems to be Lacazette or Nketiah. But I just stick Aubameyang up front. Yeah. You know,
even for the last half hour or something like that.
Yeah, because you know, if that chance against Liverpool falls to Aubameyang, it's probably a goal. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So yeah, that's my thoughts really on the game. Glad to go through, but I'm unfortunate with the next round draw.
Well,
again.
We don't do anything easy, do we? You know,
Look, we did win a couple of cups in the past by getting a load of.
It would be an irony, though, to beat them again. I mean, it would be lovely to beat them again, especially seeing as we seem to have, apart from the Premier League match where we can sweep aside, which we have done now, talking about it. But in everything else, we've come on top of Liverpool. You know, we've been able to beat them, and that is a nice thing. But Man City, another proposition.
Well, he's not going to go weak. Pep's going to be fuming after the semi-final when we turn them over.
He's going to want it back.
He's going to play everyone, and we'll go a bit weaker, I think. Still, look, we've got a chance of beating them because they're not, you know, defensively they're not great.
No.
But you know, again, it's like what we said before when we had that preview. I'd love to win that trophy. If we get past City, then you know we've got a good chance of winning it. But yeah, we'll roll on to Sheffield United on Sunday. Massive game. We're going to an international break. If we win that game, it's 9 points out of 12. And then you've got, coming back from there, you've got Man City and Man United away back to back. You know, and then you've got a run of games that are actually all quite winnable, tied in with the Europa League. So it's just you've got to win on Sunday. You know, go into an international break, tails up, and then you come back, and then you know I can't remember which one it was first. I think it might have been City first.
Yeah.
So and then so.
And we'll take it from there. I mean, talking about, we'll move on. We'll come to the Sheffield United match in just a second. But I just want to hit on something very, very quickly about the fact that we sometimes try and predict.
Here we go.
We sometimes try and predict scores and everything. And have a look at this.
Fuck's sake.
Do you know I've got a really funny feeling that it's going to go to penalties? I've got a funny feeling No, I've just got a really funny feeling that it's going to end up a draw and we'll end up going to penalties. I really do.
We'll win on penalties?
We've got some really good penalty takers.
Yeah.
And, you know, Leno's a great keeper.
All right.
Just call me Mystic Joe. I don't know why.
Going to dine out on that for months.
I don't know why, but I'll tell you what, here's another thing. If I ever bet on football, which I do rarely bet, I'm the world's worst. Don't ask me for tips, right? Because I'm rubbish.
Well, let's do it again for the Sheffield United game. Let's see how mystic Meg you are now. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I could do it on here and it will come up. But if I go into Ladbrokes or something,
you've lost it.
Rubbish. Yeah. Blimey. Yeah. But anyway, so I did call it this time round. But you know, don't bank on anything with me. We've got some people coming up, hopefully on GoonerTube, who do football betting for pleasure, obviously, you know. But a couple of them are very, very good at what they do. So we're gonna start doing a little segment where we're gonna take some tips off of them, and if you want to follow those tips, you can. So we'll be doing that in some upcoming segments on GoonerTube, and some more content that we're going to be putting out as the weeks go on. But let's talk about Sheffield United now.
Okay. Yes.
Just while I get out of my Mystic Joe persona.
Yeah. Let's move on.
Let's move on very, very quickly. Okay, so we've got Sheffield United coming up at the Emirates, and
must win.
Chris Wilder, as I mentioned before, I didn't want to name drop. I know him. No, I know him. No, I'll tell you what, he's a lovely guy. I haven't seen him for a long, long time, but I know Chris, and my dad's good mates with his dad, and they're absolute football runs through their veins. And Chris is at his home club, and you know, he's obviously got on playing a certain way. How do you think they're going to set up against the Arsenal come Sunday, knowing the way we've been playing? And the fact that we have been a little bit vulnerable at the Emirates in recent games, haven't we, against certain teams?
We always struggle against that lot. You know, it's going to be a close game. I don't know, look, we're at home. Magnitude of that game, especially losing to Liverpool, knowing you've got to win just before the international break. I think we'll turn them over. But again, I think we'll have our heart-stopping moments at the back.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think it might be a bit of a drab affair in the first half an hour. I think both teams probably won't want to give too much away.
Feeling each other out.
But because they're not that easy to break down. You know, they've got some good players in there, so I reckon we'll definitely win. But I think it'll be close. I'm going for something like a 2-1.
I was going to ask you that in a second.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 2-1.
Yeah.
And I think we might win it in the last 10 minutes. One of those games.
Yeah.
Do you know when you're just so desperate to win?
Bit like the West Ham thing.
Yeah, a little bit like that. But I think this time we might deserve to win. That one we didn't really deserve to win that game. But
no.
This time we probably deserve to win, and the ball won't go in. Maybe we'll be peppering the goal. I mean, I'm giving you Mystic Meg predictions here, but I think
nicking my.
I know, but I think we'll win the game. But I think it'll be super close. Yeah, I said we'd walk all over
West Ham.
Yeah, and I was wrong there. But
Yeah.
I think this one will be super close.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yourself?
And so, well, yeah, no, I'm pretty much of the same opinion, and I was going to say I think it's going to be possibly a 2-1, maybe even a 1-0. I don't know if I mean Sheffield United are capable of scoring goals, but and they, you know, they've proved that, but I don't know the way he's going to set them up. I think he is going to set them up quite defensive. I think he'll try and play us on the break.
100%.
I think he'll try and flood the midfield, and I think he'll try and just make sure that he can get the banks right so he can break our play up. I think that's the way he's going to approach the game. I don't think he's going to be too worried about I'm going to say winning the game. Every manager wants to win the game, but I think he knows where he is. He knows who he's up against, and I think what he'll try and do is he'll try and break us down and frustrate us. It's unlike me to be answering your questions.
Who'd you go as a midfield pairing? There's going to be two in there.
See now,
after the Liverpool game, after you watch Xhaka and El Neni together,
yeah,
what would you do now?
I'd be more inclined to make it I'll be more inclined to bring someone like Ceballos in.
For who though? You lose Xhaka or El Neni?
No, I'd keep Xhaka.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd keep Xhaka because he has been a regular player for the Arsenal, and also with someone like Xhaka, I think you know what you're going to get. You're not necessarily going to get the El Neni backwards sideways thing going on. The old Ray Wilkins style. Remember that?
Yeah, I mean he's useful for those big games. You know, if you just want to retain possession.
I think El Neni's good at that kind of Gilberto Silva role, you know, without the run too much. No, and nowhere near as good as yeah. But that role of just breaking up, being a little terrier and getting amongst people and trying to break the play up, I think Xhaka's quite capable of doing that. But I think we need a Ceballos in there, and I think we need someone that can going to be able to spray the ball, pick the ball up, you know, move it sideways, move it forwards, and just generally create a lot of runs for those Sheffield United, to break up those Sheffield United the midfield play, to stop them from settling too much and you know, sitting with those two banks to try and break the play up. I think he will go with Ceballos. Personally, I would.
No, I agree. I think Ceballos and Xhaka. Xhaka, even though he's kind of more defensive minded, he still has a really nice left foot when he plays well, and he can still pick a pass out. El Neni can't really do that, so I suppose El Neni will have to make way for Ceballos. I think Gabriel's got to play, but I'm a bit worried that a lot of these players played on Thursday, right? I know it's a couple of days rest, but I mean, is he gonna play the same team or some of the same players from Thursday? I'm not sure. Gabriel has to play. Luis, is that another heart stop? I thought Holding was good on Thursday.
Holding played well. I think he was. He drew his confidence from Gabriel.
Yeah,
I really like that. It's as if he was somehow he had a renewed confidence about him, because he knew he had someone as good as Gabriel next to him, and that can have a real effect, kind of the knock-on effect. If you're confident with the player next year, and also, and we're going to hit on this very very quickly in a second, Leno.
Oh, mate.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll come back to that in a second. But yeah. So with Rob Holding, I felt everybody had. I mean, there were a few weak performances. I think Pepe really needs to try and. I don't know. It felt like he was trying to beat too many players all the time.
I saw it in one of
he needs to do.
I saw it in one of the fan reactions. Adam, do you remember Adam?
Yep.
He said he needs to develop his right foot. 100%. Couldn't agree more with him. I think that was a perfect statement. You know, he's training at a world-class club. You know, maybe he just needs to take him out the firing line. Just give him a few easy games in the Carabao Cup and the Europa League, and just let him play those group stages, just to get a bit of confidence and, you know, because he finished the season really well, Pepe, towards the end of the season.
No, he did. He was really confident.
But for some reason, it's gone away.
It's fallen away, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'm a bit concerned about him.
I mean, even Nigel Winterburn scored a goal with his right foot, and he had no right foot.
I remember that. Yeah,
I was there that night.
Yeah.
The 2-2 against Wimbledon. That was fantastic. But so like I say, we're going to hit on Leno just for a second and just quickly. A lot of people were getting on Leno's back, weren't they, regarding Liverpool? And you know, we have to remember he had a long-term injury. But people have got short memories in some respects. So that what he did for the time before that, I mean, he basically saved us so many games with so many brilliant saves. And you've only got to then look at Liverpool on Thursday and say, well, I mean, like, a couple of those saves, they were like where he was almost Peter Burnett. For all the young people out there, they don't know who Peter Burnett is.
Going to drop an old name.
It was nicknamed the Cat for that reason. And look at that save he did. Right,
the one where it was basically flying over his head.
I mean, he left.
My favourite one was the Van Dijk one. 6 yards
down to his right,
tipped it round the post. He had no right to even get down.
And Banks, isn't it?
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah,
he was amazing. He was incredible. Look, I was never calling for his head, but I thought he could have done better with the Liverpool second goal. So I'm going to say it.
But I did say it, and that is that he's the last port of call. If he makes a mistake, it's a goal.
Yeah.
If a defender makes a mistake, you've still got the goalkeeper, and so on. You know, you've always got another bank. You've always got someone else behind you. But for him, there's no excuses. If he makes a mistake, that's it.
He was amazing.
You know,
he won us the game single-handedly.
Well, I'm really glad he redeemed himself. And somebody just saying hello to me just around here doing their shopping. I'm really glad he redeemed himself, and I'm really glad that that people are now kind of off his back. Let's just hope he can go from there. But so like I say, don't forget, everybody was looking at Martinez, weren't they? They were saying how wonderful he was, how wonderful he played. He'd done it for 2 months. Leno had just done it for lots of months before that, and we have to remember that. So hopefully that's given him renewed confidence, getting man of the match as well.
Mate, we need him,
which was really, really good. We do need him.
We're going to need him a lot throughout the season.
Well, let's just hope he doesn't get another injury, because as mentioned on the transfer show, we've missed out on David Raya.
We've got a second keeper now.
We have got a second keeper now in Renison. So we don't know what he's capable of, and Macy's still there. So we have to hopefully rely on their judgment and say, well, yeah, it looks like they've made the right call, and hopefully we don't have to use him. But if we do, let's hope he can come in and deputise for Leno in a way that we expected. Well, we didn't expect Martinez to do, but in a way that Martinez did, and that would be a good thing, I suppose, wouldn't it?
No, 100%, mate.
Yeah, I mean, we might see him in the European competition. You might see Renison in that, considering the draw we've got in the group stage. But there you go. Yeah, you never know. Maybe. Are you feeling a bit better now? You've let it all out.
Yeah, no, I'm all right now, mate. Now, listen, it's going to be a long, topsy-turvy season. It's going to be a roller coaster of emotions. Any other phrases I can think of, you know what I mean? It's going to be hard work, mate. All it is you wait until Monday now, and you're just praying for these players to come in or someone to come in. You're constantly on social media. Put your phone down. 10 minutes later, fuck's sake, and then you get that message. You're like, oh, the Leon president's just said no, it's not happening. You're just like, no. Yeah. This is not happening again.
Well, let's see how it goes. I think Arsenal are going to surprise us like they always do, whether it's from left field or whether it's one or two of the players that we're expecting to come to Arsenal. I think we've got another 24, 48 hours to go for that yet, but we'll wait and see and see what develops. I think there's going to be one more transfer show before the end of the window, and hopefully it's accurate enough that we can predict things that are happening in the news. You never know, and it's changing minute by minute. So only they know, we don't. We just got to go with whatever's coming out. And, the best reports we can find, we will. But thanks for joining us today, myself and Kaya, sitting in it's quite a nice area, isn't it? It's nice, little. We're going to grab a cup of coffee in a minute, I think. So me and you cheer you up a little bit. Or a pint. Let's go and have a pint. All right then, I don't drink. Well, I do, but he's going to get me drunk. So thanks for joining us again for this preview show, and don't forget to join us for all the other content. We're going to be putting out a review show pretty much straight after the match against Sheff United, and also there's going to be the fans reviews, Gooner views that we put out as well. So look out for those. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button for us, please. It really helps us an awful lot. Hit the like button and also hit that notification bell, and that means you'll never miss another bit of content here at GoonerTube. So we'll see you soon from Cara and myself. Thanks very much, and we'll see you on the next one.